Alright, good morning, guys.
Beep beep.
Gonna do another narration
I
and
missed that.
um um uh rating of Steam games. Uh it kinda looks like we end up making it to buying the Destiny basic packs today, so that's pretty exciting to look forward to. Loading up this game. Okay. I I like checking that daily. I wish I would do that more frequently back at this time, but oh well. Alright, here we go. Nothing too exciting yet. $12. We need those $1,000 cards. Come on, where's those at? $50 is pretty cool. 32.
Just a minute, lady. You don't have mail. Mail. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alright. Nice starter. Love seeing that. There we are. 116. Great. Nice full art. Hmm. 22 is pretty cool. Just looking for like a all ghost pack. That would be really great. Alright. So kind of a bummer, but we got some good pulls. Something to work with. That's pretty cool. The next game, either Steam didn't record playtime accurately, or the memory I have wasn't with Sid Meier's Civilization 5, it was with 4. But either way, this is a fantastic game. It's a fantastic series. It's like Risk, but way more in depth. Um, you're starting a nation, you're building up your resources. You kind of start off in like caveman era, and you kind of slowly but surely build up to like futuristic stuff, and you can wage wars and start fights and all sorts of different things. Pursue path of religion, pursue a path of science, or war, or just peace in general. There's so many different ways to win in that game. I don't even think I can name them all. But I have a memory that must have been allocated to uh, Civ 4, where me and a friend spent an entire summer playing almost nonstop on like marathon mode, which is like it's like there are different modes you could play. Marathon mode was the absolute longest mode you could play on, and I think it ended with me just telling him, "Hey, you win," because he would really think out his turns while I'm just there doing. Um, and I think I remember it being pretty clear by the end of that summer. He was going to win. There was no doubt. um, SimCity 4. Um, I remember really liking this game, but I remember really liking SimCity 5 the most, even though a lot of people hated it. And now you can't even play SimCity 5. It just doesn't work. They shut down the servers and stuff, and it's just crappy. I tried sometime last year. It didn't go. I have Sims. Okay, I have three Sims games here. I'm gonna rate them all kind of individual because honestly, there are niches to them that I like. So Sims 3 was at one point would have been the one I would have spent the most time on. Um, Steam is not going to give me an accurate representation of playtime on 4 because that's when EA started having their own sorry um game launcher. So all the playtime is going to be on that, but I have it on here. I think it was because it was free or something. But Sims 3, um, I played a lot, and one of the features it had that I thought was really special was if you had other friends who also played Sims, you could randomly send them gifts. And there was ways for you to support their game to your game, so their game could be part of your game. It was really cool. Um, I really like it. And Sims 4 started out honestly at such a low point that it kind of depended on all these mods and eventually all these game updates and expansions and stuff. It became very predatory. If I'm being honest, that doesn't take away from how much I like it, but for you to really have a fleshed out game, you kind of had to pay for it, pay a lot of extra for it. So, in that sense, not cool, Pookie. I have this Sims Medieval, which I think was very underrated. It kind of had like this campaign mode where it felt more like you're building a dollhouse than building an actual house. Um, but I don't know. You just had little things you had to do to kind of go through the little single player mode. I think it was great. I really liked it. Also don't think I beat it, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy it and wouldn't recommend it. Slay the Spire again. I'm pretty sure I got um influenced to get this game. It's fun. It's a card game roguelike. But I think I got influenced by the Hearthstone people to get into it. I know that they have like a tabletop game now. I don't know much about that, but you're just picking cards to get through this roguelike, and as you go through, you upgrade them and stuff. Interesting concept. I have um, a little under 10 hours on it. I have Smite, which is kind of like League of Legends, but with using various gods with various beliefs. Like there's Greek gods, there's Roman gods, there's Egyptian gods, stuff like that. I think it expanded to other things besides just gods, but that's where the core was. uh, All Stars, Sonic All Stars Racing, transformed. Um, I couldn't get into it. Um, I didn't like how it played, and it just wasn't for me. It's a Mario Kart type game that's Sonic, and I was playing it and was thinking the entire time I'd rather play Mario Kart. Um, I have Sonic Adventure Deluxe, which I don't have much playtime on the PC, but I do really remember. Um, okay, I don't. I was gonna say really remember enjoying it. That would be a lot. I don't remember really enjoying it. I mainly watched my brother play this game. I did. I remember, and it stands true. I didn't particularly care for how the story flow was, the whole traveling back and forth thing. I just wanted to play levels. All I wanted to do. Um, I also have Sonic Adventure 2. Um, Fantastic game. I have a lot. I have 75 played hours here. I have a lot of hours played back when it was just on the GameCube. Um, really enjoyed just about everything in that game. The Chao Garden was fun. The versus modes were fun. Story mode was great. The music was awesome. I can't really complain about that outside of, you know, usual Sonic 3D complaints that it just didn't work the way you would want it to work. I also have regular Sonic and All Stars Racing, and I think all the complaints I had about the other one can also be applied to this one. I think it's kind of the same game. Uh, Sonic CD. This is hands down my least favorite Sonic game. I do not like playing it. Whenever that one new kind of collection of the first three Sonic CD and stuff came out, I played it through to the best of my ability, and it just sucks. I think it's some people's favorites. Some people really hold it to a high standard, but I think it's one of the worst ones out there. Of the ones I played, I've heard some horror stories about like Sonic 2006 and stuff like that, but Sonic Generations was a fun game. Um, but once you got to like the layer levels that were more of the recent Sonic games, it was less special to me. It's more special when I knew those levels, the levels I grew up with, like Sonic Color. I never really got into. Um, so it had its ups and downs. Kind of an interesting, kind of a predictable story. I have Sonic the Hedgehog episode 1 and 2, and honestly, I don't remember a whole lot about them. I remember really hating them too. I remember just hating them. Uh, and like I remember at one point having them in my hidden games because I was tired of looking at them. So that's how I feel about that. I know these two are technically these next two are technically out of order as far as when they came out, but they're in alphabetical order, so that's the problem here. I have South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Um, which is the sequel to Stick of Truth, which is the next game. Uh, I think for me to rate this one and give you an accurate review of this one, I'm going to have to start with Stick of Truth, which Stick of Truth was like based in Fantasyland. I mean, it was in South Park, but like the role playing that they were doing was fantasy based, and it was turn based gameplay. I really liked it. I liked all the. I think I played it through, so I played all the different classes. I don't. I could be wrong though. I remember really. I know I did at least two classes. Um. So I don't know, something to that effect. I think it's interesting. I think there was a couple of gross scenes that are harder to get through than others, but it's still pretty fun, pretty straightforward. Um,
Did you been
and then
interested
Fractured Butthole is just the direct sequel to that. Um, I remember really liking this game. It had a different combat style. Um, uh, I don't know how to describe the combat style other than it kind of reminded me of King's Bounty. But I think there are newer games than King's Bounty that are more familiar to the larger audience. I don't know, it was cool. I don't really remember a whole lot about the story though, if I'm being 100% honest. I mean, there's superheroes in this one. So it's like superhero based. So, fantasy based. But I really don't remember a whole lot about the story about this one. So I might have to play through that again sometime. I have Soviet Jump Game,
you don't
which was like a
different
battle royale
you offer
2D side scroller
you don't
Mario
order
themed
merchandise
thing. Um, and that's just my memory. It's made
you
by
offer
the
idiots
Game
like
Grumps and their game studio, whatever you
like
want to call
gambling
it, by the makers of Dream Daddy. Um, I think it was a fun idea. I don't think I haven't tried to play it anytime recently, but I don't think you can still play it. But I'll install it now, and maybe in the next video I'll go back and tell you, hey, yeah, you can still play this. It's grown or it sucks or whatever. Um, I have Spore, and on this list it says Spore Keeping Coop Parts Pack, but I think that's just DLC in Galactic Adventures. I think Galactic Adventures is technically considered a DLC. I think it's where you can skip all the rest of the game, and go straight to like the end game of it. But Spore, I actually played this recently, with my wife in tow, and like she was helping me pick what path I should go, or should I be a carnivore, or what. You start off as like a single cell organism, and you can either be herbivore or carnivore at first, and then later on you can unlock a mouth that allows you to be both. And depending on what way you go the most depends on like where you land next, and you can kind of pick paths between. It really kind of did feel like being a herbivore was being choosing to be peaceful, so it's choosing to be good, or being carnivore was choosing to be hostile, so it's choosing to be evil, or being an omnivore was just choosing the middle ground. And so once that was done, you evolve into a primal creature who, like, caveman era creature, and you're going around and you're trying to either attack the bad guys or impress them with your singing and dancing and stuff, or try to balance it. We're trying to do both. I think you could potentially win by just gifting them fruit. Now that I think about it, but we didn't do that. We were doing the dancing. We wanted to go peaceful, and then from there, you are like a tribe, like a native tribe who are trying to impress people. No, this is where you could, uh, when you're a tribe, that's where you can impress them by gifting them stuff, as well as dancing or attacking them. I mean, you still dance or attack them, but I don't think there was like ever gifted them fruit in the second phase. In the third phase, there's that. And then after that, once you beat that, you become a civilization, and then you're attacking them with tanks or air attacks, or you're sending them dip, or you're being diplomatic. I didn't pay attention to the card pack opening. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I think we already passed the card pack opening. Sorry about that. Was not paying attention. Was too focused on my rant. I am sorry about that. I'll be better next time. Uh, but yeah, and then after that, then you're in space, and that's kind of where the game just never ends. That's like the whole end game is there, and you're like, I don't know, you're doing all sorts of different things. I got very bored very quickly in space. I think the only time I ever did much is I did kind of really force myself to play for like a few hours in space. But after a while, it just felt like, hey, you basically beat the game at this point. What's the point? Uh, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Uh, I have this recorded and ready to upload. Um, I really like this game. I have played through it a few times since the Reignited Trilogy came out, but each individual game I have a lot of core memories with. Um, Spyro 1 obviously was the starter. I remember that game being really difficult for me, and um, progression for me was really slow. My brother was clearly the first one to beat it in the family. Um, then the second one came out, and I don't think my brother ever really got into the second one or the third one. I think he only ever got into the first one. But the second one, I remember um, we rented it from Family Dollar or Family Video, and we had rented and we rented it so often that the guy at Family Video was like, "Here, take it. It's yours. You've already spent more than we had to spend to get its license or whatever for this game. Um, just take it." And I don't think it might have been because it was difficult. If I'm being honest, I mean I was a kid, right? Like all games were really hard back then. But oh no, I didn't open pack set. Okay, here we go. 43 bucks. Usually I wait to buy stock until after opening up the packs, but that's where my confusion was. I think there was another 10 bucker in that one too. $9. Ooh. Love me some $20 cards. Some nice foils in there.
That's all, like, just
16,
anytime we get into
738.
I was typing something, and I got a notification.
That's some pretty foils in there. $36 is pretty cool. $79. That's sorry. That was really cool. $20. I thought we were gonna take a god pack there for a second. If I remember recording these, most of my really good cards came from the basic of this. So I've already ordered all of my cards. Like a restock, and I'm at $3,100. I have to imagine I'm going to end up getting the stuff either today or something. I'm pretty consistently earning a pretty good amount of money, which is awesome. We're going to check out what I can get. Destiny! Nice. And I can afford to buy one box. Or packs it open.
I just bought the first set of the Destiny.
I am going to need another storage rack though.
And it was like $3,000.
$8. See? Evidence, no. I haven't really looked into it, but it doesn't really feel like you get a whole lot of new Tetramon in the new packs. It kind of feels like it's the same Tetramon, just reskin. Which is fine, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal, but your collection is supposed to be like 2,000 some cards, and it doesn't really feel like it's 2,000 some Pokemon or Tetramon. Nothing horribly exciting yet, but that's okay. The exciting part is getting the new packs. That's in the day. Nothing else for me to do now. Yeah, I bought a new license, and I was only a negative 400 profit even after the new license. I think that's pretty good. Negative 15 because of the card table stuff. That's fine. Open up some more packs. It looks like this will be a 2-day episode. I'm at the halfway point now. $7. Pretty little foil. Excuse me. Nine. Nope. Oh, I thought that was gonna be all awesome cards. You know, they're really cool though. For a buck. 18, 28.
mobile game that was like completely unpredatory. It tried to be predatory, but you could easily do the free stuff and still get
Ooh,
Um,
30.
relatively easy. Like I had a complete collection.
Yeah, this negative, please.
When I was trying to figure out find this game, I like searched for stuff, and there's a separate, unrelated.
Something gets really me outside. Boy, if not when I had to go get my kid. Be nice, be nice. $5.44. $30. $12. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, continuing off of my spiral stuff. And then the third, so the first one is pretty much just basic stuff. Like you're just going around, you're collecting you're rescuing dragons, cracking your stolen treasure, and defeating Nasty Nork and all of his like henchmen. I believe they're supposed to be henchmen. There really isn't that much of a story. It starts out with him being butthurt because we call him names, and so he uses his scepter and stonifies all the adult dragons, which are oddly enough only dudes. um, and there, and then there was like thieves who stole eggs too, randomly thrown into the game. So it's a collectathon. You have some flying levels in it that are pretty fun. You know, saving all the dragons. In my series, I 100% the game itself, and I do all the achievements for that one. I went to do the other two, and I ended up getting too frustrated with it that it was taking away the fun of it, and I decided if it's not fun, don't do it. Um, but and in fact, even the third one ended up causing me some frustrations where I ended up rage quitting, and then a day or so passed by, and I calmed down. And I went to try it again, and boom! Within a couple of tries, got past what was giving me trouble on the 100%, and ended up 100% the game itself. I didn't end up getting all the achievements. I didn't end up getting all the um. I don't remember what they call bonus points that they have, bonus like little achievement things that they have. I just 100% the actual game itself. Um, second one, uh, Spyro wants to go on a vacation, and these people from another dimension or another world mess up their portal and get you instead, and so you have to help save them from the Swifto guy, and you're collecting orbs, collecting more treasure. Um, another fun collectathon. Uh, if you 100% that game, you get a permanent super flame that carries over. That if you end up making a new game and you have it, that new game will have super flame, and it's like playing on easy mode. You can do some missions before you're supposed to be able to. It's great. I really like it.
Or it still might be
Makes
out.
all the bosses super easy.
Just throw it away.
Um, and the third one, someone steals all the dragon eggs, and you have to venture on the other side of the planet to the lost world or whatever, where the dragons were once banished, and rescue all the eggs from the sorcerers. And it's more of the same, but then you get friends that you can play as, and some of them are fun. I think the most interesting thing about that was you end up saving a monkey and getting to play as this monkey that has a laser gun, and it turns the game into a first-person shooter. And that was like the only time I used the mouse was when playing as the monkey. So that was kind of fun. I have a whole bunch of Star Wars games here. Some of them I can lump into. I never played them. I don't know much about them. I will do those first. So the ones I have that I have and I never played, and therefore don't really have any input to put on them is Star Wars Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2, Mysteries of the Sith, and oh, I have both of those. I didn't know that. And I'll go ahead and add, I have to see which one has playtime and which one doesn't. Jedi Survivor, as well as, well, that's it. As well as technically, uh, Knights of the Old Republic 2. Never played that one. I'll get to why later on. But of the ones that I have played, I have on here Battlefront 2. I haven't played it a lot on Steam. I played the crap out of it on PlayStation 2 and loved it. One of my favorite games back in PlayStation 2 times. um, I played Fallen Order. It really isn't my steez, and therefore I probably won't ever play Jedi Survivor either because of the same reason. It's just not my cup of tea. It looks fun. I'm sure it's a great game. I don't have anything entirely bad to say about it. It's just not my play style. It's kind of like a Soulsborne type of game. Um, and I I just don't have the ambition to get good, so to speak. Um, but a lot of these games came in one package. That's mainly after specific games. I have Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and Jedi Knight Outcast. I know I played both of these, and I know I like both of them. I don't remember a whole lot about them. I played them back in the day sort of situation before Steam was a thing. But I do remember really liking them and thinking they were very creative in how they did it and the whole shebang. I have Starbound on here, which doesn't seem to be working anymore. I've tried a couple times of playing it recently so that I could kind of remember how to play it. I think it's kind of like Tetra in space. Even though I never played Tetra, that's the common comparison I've heard people give it is it's Tetra in space. Oh, Supermarket Simulator? Really? Oh no, not clear. Sorry, that's just Transport Simulator. Supermarket Supermarket Simulator might have been the first one of these games I played. Um, and I really enjoyed it. I played uh 233 hours of it. I really like it. I plan on maybe doing it again sometime soon. I don't know. I don't want to do it for the channel until I get to a point in this game, at least, where it feels completed. Which I'm not going to go as hard for the channel as I did for my own personal game. I'm just going to get to where I have all the storage things unlocked and stuff like that because I am sticking to just cards. I'm not selling any accessories or anything here. I have Tabletop Simulator, which is an interesting concept. I got it to play a game called Villainous on it, and there are custom made Villainous games on there. It's interesting. You I I didn't do a whole lot outside of Villainous though, but you really could play just about any tabletop game you can think of. If you can make it into the game, you can play it in the game. And so it's really cool with that premise alone. Um, and people make extraordinary games for this. You know, Tales from the Borderlands, which is a spin-off story for the Borderlands games that Telltale. So you're making choices in the game, and the choices you make vary how the story is played out. I like it. I heard such bad things about the second one that I never bought the second one and don't ever plan on it. Um, it was horrendous from the sound of it. I have Talisman, which I'm pretty sure I've really spoken out about how much I enjoy Talisman. Um, fantastic game. Couldn't recommend the digital game or the board game enough. Um, just great. Watered is like watered down Dungeons and Dragons uh battle royale, where you can either go around killing each other or you could go and straight up win the game. And then of course I have this game, Trading Card Shop Simulator. Obviously, I really like this game. The people keep updating and keep adding more stuff to it. It's really cool. Actually, as I'm recording this today, they came out with um like more update stuff. So um really looking forward to getting into that. Team Fortress 2, I have 74 hours played. It used to be fantastic. It used to be one of my favorite games. I said Tetra earlier with Starbound. I meant Terraria. That's the next game. Spoiler alert. Um, but Team Fortress 2 used to be great, and then it got weird. It became less fun for me. I think it's still being played, but it became less fun for me. Drastically, like almost overnight, became less fun for me. Terraria is Minecraft 2 dimensional. That's what it is. Um, I didn't care for it. I have 4 hours played, but I think that's all me playing with my trying to hang out with my online friends. Um,
There you go.
it this wasn't for me. I didn't particularly care for it. I have an auto game called Time Clickers that I have poured a lot of time into. Um, but it hasn't had anything going for it for about 5 years now. Uh, it's an idle game. That's you upgrade stuff. You get more points faster. You prestige. You start over. You do it all over again. It's one of those. Those games just really draw me in. I have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is a spin-off of the Borderlands game. Uh, I think it's fantastic. I like the story. I am biased to like um, Andy Samberg though, but I'm also biased to not like Wanda Sykes, who's in it. It's great though. The story is great. The end game is fun. I would recommend it if you're a Borderlands fan and you haven't played this one. It has a lot of unique features in it, a lot of unique story to it. I hope they make more. I have Torchlight. I'm gonna go in. I tried Torchlight 2, which I never really played. Torchlight 1, I kept trying. It's Diablo. It's like a Diablo type game, though. What it is. I just had a hard time getting into it. Shrine was a game that I thought was interesting. It's a side scrolling puzzle game where you're a wizard, a rogue, or a wizard rogue, or like a border type of deal. You're trying to. They each have their own abilities in the puzzle solving thing. I have Trove, which I honestly don't know what it is. Again, I think it was one of those games that my friends convinced me to download, but then we never ended up playing. I think it's kind of like a Minecraft type game, though. I don't really remember much about it. um, 2 Point Hospital. Um, super fun, super silly. It's a building similar thing, kind of like SimCity and Roller Coaster Tycoon, one of those types of games. And 2 Point Museum, which I played a lot recently. Um, and it's still getting updates and stuff. I had like an update for it to kind of get people hyped. Sorry about hitting the mic there. Get people hyped for the new 2 Point Zoozium thing that they're coming out with. That I think looks like a lot of fun. I have Walking Dead season 1 and 2. I never played season 2. Walking Dead season 1 was great. I loved it. It's a telltale game, making choices. Those affect how the story is told. Even though I think it all has kind of the same end game, nautically at least. 3 games here that I can kind of just bunch into one review of. I don't know why I have them. A friend must have either convinced me to buy them to play with them, judging based on the people who previously played. It's the same group of friends that most of these reviews are based around, which is Warhammer 40,000, Dawn of War 2, Chaos Rising, and Retribution. I don't know jack diddly about them. I think those are the ones that are kind of like the StarCraft and Warcraft games. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care if I ever get into them either. I have Watch Dogs, which I think is an interesting game. It's kind of like a GTA type of game, but like you're a hacker. It's futuristic. I didn't ever beat it. I don't even know if I could consider how far I got into it. Very far. Um, I have 4.6 hours played on it. I just, it's not that I lost interest. I think the game was glitching on me or something. I didn't have the best computer back then, so I think that was part of the problem. Wolf Among Us, which I haven't played much of until recently, and even then, so I only got so far into it. Me and my wife were playing it together. I was kind of trying to force her into it though, and she just wasn't. She just wasn't going for it. So I just kind of stopped. But it too is a Telltale game based on um based on like fabled stories, like the Three Little Pigs and stuff like that. But very gruesome, and that's not me trying to bash it or anything. It's just kind of a gruesome story. Worms WMD, um, Weapons of Mass Destruction. I love the Worms games. I don't know which one was my favorite. There was one that really stood out for me. You could really customize the worms and their voices and stuff. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot. I have 13 hours on this one. But there's one that I would play with my brother, and we played a lot of. Um, you Must Build a Boat is a lot like 10 Million, which was the first game I rated. It's that, but different, which isn't different enough. And then the Zombie Driver, I honestly don't know why I have this game. It must have been bundled into something. I don't know much about it. I only have 30 minutes played. But that is, however, the last of my Steam game library and the last of the stuff I will review today. We're kind of getting closer to the end of the day anyway. um, Once I start opening packs, that's when you really know that's the end of the day. I don't know why I'm pausing. I saw why. I was noticing that it wasn't flushed against the wall, and it was bothering me. But I think I end up giving up on getting it perfect because it's hard to get perfect without it trying to attach itself to um the shelves in front of it. Yeah, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Sorry. Um, that's sort of what's going on there. If you have any Steam games you could recommend to me, I'm always open to suggestions. I do have some games on my wish list. Um, I actually really edited down my wish list. I have like the first Dead Rising on my wish list just because I played it back on the Xbox, but I haven't played it since then. I have a game called Type of Man, The Life of Strange Games, Cuphead, Munchkin, Digital. I'm kind of trying to learn from my mistake with these digital games of games I don't know anything about because I bought Catan digitally and um I don't know how to play Catan and it wasn't really doing a very good job of teaching me. I just wasn't grasping my head around it. Get out! Oh, don't tell him to get out. Alright. And as we open up these packs, I want to take upon this moment to really thank you guys for watching and listen to me ramble about my game libraries and stuff. It's been a lot of fun. There's only a couple more of these episodes until I take a small break and do something else with my life. But I really appreciate all the support you guys give me. I am blessed to have this opportunity while also being cursed at the same time. I am Dove Potato here. I am Derpy Dove on Twitch. I will actually be streaming shortly after recording this episode. Gonna grab something to eat real quick, and then stream for a little bit before it's time to go pick up my kid from her musical practice. Which I don't feel like I say it to her enough. I am so proud of her that she's doing stuff like that. It's really wonderful that she feels that comfortable with herself to put herself on stage in front of hundreds of people and perform a musical. And I think she actually has like a speaking line this time. Last time she was ensemble, so not all eyes were on her. And I don't even think with this particular role, all eyes will be on her here either. But it's still something that I think she should be proud of, and I am proud of her, and I know her mom is too. So yeah, but I'll be streaming there. That is at Derpy Dove 89 on Twitch. Feel free to follow me. I try to stream daily, except for Sunday. I don't do anything. Well, I don't do anything on the weekends. In general, honestly. But nothing on Sundays, nothing on Saturdays. But yeah, any support out there is awesome to me. Other games on my wish list is Mika and the Witch's Mountain. I mainly added that because at one point my wife seemed really interested. I missed the $1,000 card. What? I went way on past it. That was awesome. Sorry. But my wife seemed really interested, and she couldn't ever forget when it was coming out. So I added it to my wish list so that I could keep up to date on it. I have Timberborn, which is like a city builder, but beavers in the future. I don't know. It looked silly. It looked fun. Mail Time was like a cutesy game that I thought would have been more my wife's style than mine, but Billy Bust Up, I followed them on TikTok and have been following their thing. I am so excited for that game to come out. That game definitely, I'll probably play and stream that the day it comes out. Chill Aquarium, don't know much about it. The newer Talisman game. The farmer was replaced. It looks like it's kind of coding based. Bookshop Simulator, the newer re-release of Plants vs. Zombies, Split Fiction, and the new Shell Shock Arena game coming out. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Please like, comment, subscribe. All the support is greatly appreciated. If I could thank you individually, I would. But thank you to my general audience. Have a great day.